I got the gold chain out. It's a fake gold chain, but we making money moves. We're saving money. Real gold chain soon. Hello, and what is going on, lovely people of the internet? It is Hootmoney here with another video for you guys today. Today, we're going to be talking about vinco, shrinko, BBIG, and progenity, PROG. I wanted to make a BBIG update, but I didn't want to just bring some sad vibes, some bad news. So I had to include progenity as well because I think the future is bright for progenity. Anyways, here we have BBIG down 6% on the day, down 3% after hours. It's sticking to what I thought would happen. You guys can see the bounce off the 25 here, the bounce off the 25 there. Now we're going into an overall longer term downtrend as we can see that the 200 moving average and the 25 moving average have crossed. So we're going to see some resistance down here at 562, but in the end, I do think it'll come back down to where it was before the run. So it should come back down to $5 per share. And this is unfortunate news, but there was a pre-anticipatory run for BBIG for the dividend, and now that dividend has been extended to the future, so it would make sense that it would come back to where it was before. That's just what would make sense. And it just sucks because BBIG had such great short squeeze fundamentals. It was just phenomenal short squeeze fundamentals, technicals, whatever you guys want to call it, but it just decided to rally on the dividend rather than rallying on a short squeeze, and that just doesn't make sense to me. Yes, the dividend is a catalyst, but at the end of the day, Cryptide is already on BBIG's balance sheet, so it's already listed as an asset on BBIG's balance sheet. You can come over here to financials, click the balance sheet, and see it's likely over here on non-current assets. And yeah, once Cryptide does spin off of BBIG, it will be removed from the assets of BBIG, and boom, that value has been taken out of BBIG, put in a different stock, different publicly traded company with their own balance sheet. And yeah, for that reason alone, there never should have been a dividend anticipation rally. It should have been a short squeeze anticipation rally the whole time. But then as soon as we got the news, this thing dumped off a cliff, and it just kind of upsets me because I was in it for the short squeeze. I'm still in it for the short squeeze, but for it to dump off because of a dividend delay that doesn't add or create or destroy any value for the company, just kind of upsets me. I mean, obviously there might have been a squeeze with that dividend, especially if it was some type of crypto dividend, but I digress. Anyways, we have progenity right here. Progenity broke downwards out of the wedge, and we actually did see a lot of stocks, a lot of squeeze stocks break down because of this stock right here, DWOC. DWOC did go to the moon today. It took the eyes of the entire stock market up 356% on the day, and then 35% in after hours. It has only gone up. I wouldn't invest in this right now. It's just so risky. You can't predict if it's going to go to 100. You can't predict if it's going to go back down to $10. And as soon as they put options which aren't available to be traded on this stock, it'll likely come right back down. So progenity, if we're just looking at the hourly chart, you can see that the RSI overshot, MACD overshot. Looking at the RSI again, we can scroll back, and I don't see another point here where the RSI was overshot. And right here before the initial run up in September, that's the last time the RSI was listed as oversold. So now we're getting a nice RSI bounce. The MACD looks like it's going to come up as well on the hourly. The hourly, it doesn't really have a clear support level right here. I mean, you can go off of prior resistance levels right here and say that's a support, but I do think if we go to the 4-hour chart, that on this chart, it's using that 50 moving average or the blue line as a solid support line on this rally. So that's what I'm seeing here. We saw a nice bounce off of it right there, and we're going to see a nice bounce off of it right there as well. So, and it's not overshot, it's right in the middle, so it can really do anything on that 4-hour chart. The daily chart definitely looks a bit overshot. I mean, the RSI is still at a very high level, and it looks like it's coming down. We also have the MACD that looks like it's at a very high point as well. But at the end of the day, I do not think that this is that meaningful, because in any short squeeze stock, take it for AMC, take it for GameStop, the daily chart could be overshot for so long on the RSI. So I'm just going to leave this technical risk be and go on from there. Anyways, we have the short squeeze screener right here, and you guys can see progenity is at number 1 and BBIG is all the way down here at 16. BBIG is still pretty high on this list, but you know, the catalyst went away or it got extended to the future and people decided they wanted to sell for some reason rather than fighting these shorts. That would have been the perfect opportunity for a short squeeze. Shorts would have been like, oh, we have to short the stock, the catalyst is gone, and longs would have been like, oh, I'm going to buy the stock to squeeze the shorts, and it would have been perfect. But it didn't happen, and shorts are still adding short interest somehow on BBIG, but we'll get into that in a second. Progenity is at number 1, rightfully so. Progenity definitely has the highest risk of a short squeeze. We can go into the Fintel data, the Ortex data, my apologies, and this is what we need to address for BBIG. Right off the bat, you'll see it goes down to 95% out of 100, and yesterday, if you watched my video, it was at 100%. Now, the cost to borrow has been increasing. It's 250% right now, almost 250%. I rounded up, but you know what I'm saying. And the short interest is up another 4% as of today. So where are these shares coming from? I actually did a little Excel sheet breakdown comparing the on loan new and the on loan returned, and realized that there has been 722,000 shares that have been put on loan that have not been returned, and this is just taking in data from October. So how does the utilization go from full utilization of 100% down to 95% the next day? It just doesn't really make any sense, especially because more shares have been put on loan or more shares have been shorted than covered. It doesn't make sense. And I actually emailed Ortex about this for some clarification. I have their full response in the Discord channel, the BBIG squeeze channel, and basically what the summary of this was that they only get 85% of data from prime brokers, short interest data that is, and that other 15% is just up in thin air. So even though I'm paying $90 a month for Ortex's subscription, they can't even give me 15% of the data. So if that 15% that's not accounted for in the Ortex data, if something changes and they lend some of their shares to a different broker, that Ortex now has access to that data, then that completely changes everything, because those shares just come from what seems like nowhere, and then utilization can go up. So brokers actually lend and borrow shares to each other depending on what their clients want. So that's that. You can see the full thing in the Discord channel, but that's why utilization has come down. It's because they don't have full access to the data. They only get about 85% of the total data. So everything was looking amazing, but you don't get the full picture. And I can go on a rant about how retail just continues to get screwed when it comes to data, when it comes to everything in this market. Pretty much we don't get the upper hand in literally anything. There's nothing that retail has an advantage over big money. Absolutely nothing. The whole system is set up for big money to be able to extract from retail. Big money can do things that retail can't do. Big money is allowed to naked short. Big money is allowed to do this. Big money is allowed to do that. And retail can just eat shit. But that's just how it goes. That's the stock market. We need reform. We need to tweet at Gary Gensler. We need to tweet at SEC Gov. And we need to follow Hootmoney YT on Twitter. It's very, very important. It's very, very simple. If we look at Progenity, you guys can see that the short squeeze, there's 6 different outstanding short squeeze scores. We got one here, one right here, one right here. If we scroll down, one right here, one right here. They're all outstanding. They haven't been completed yet. This one's ending tomorrow. The other one's 6 days, 8 days, and 13 days. This is the most amount of short squeezes that I've ever seen. And you guys can see all of them right here. And then there was 3 more at the beginning of October. So Progenity is, something's happening in Progenity, guys. Like, I'm telling you. And if we look at the Ortex data, the cost to borrow is at 140%, up another 4%, because like I said, shorts definitely piled into a lot of these stocks as that SPAC, I forget the actual ticker right now, went up. And yeah, another 2 million shares were taken out and borrowed. 100%. It was 100% yesterday. We're not getting the full data. It's pretty apparent right here. And now we're up to 67% of the float being shorted. It's really crazy what's going on in Progenity, guys. And I think this one has definitely got the highest risk of a short squeeze, especially when you're counting all of the other things that this stock has going for it. And then there's all that short interest data that's just not accounted for, like the 15% we were just talking about, the deep in the money put options. Everything that's not showing up in the 67% is also a huge risk to progenity. So I think progenity has a lot of upside. I'm not going to give any financial advice, but that's what I'm thinking. And here we have the whale chart for BBIG. So Unusual Whales, amazing website, link below if you wanted to check it out. But we're going to have premium minimum of $10,000 or more. So these are essentially options that were traded, and the buyer put more than $10,000 into these options. So they were making a big bet. And you can also see ask side only. This will give us a better representation of the overall sentiment. And you guys have probably already seen tons and tons of puts being traded. The most apparent one being this 2023 $22 put option, deep in the money, far out expiration. That is how shorts add short interest to a stock without changing anything about the short interest, and you saw tons of that today. We can show the charts right here and show to you guys again the 2023 tons of puts were being traded on this one, and you guys can also see right here $22 strike price has been traded the most for the put options, followed by the $18 strike price as well. They are trying to add synthetic short interest. It's very, very apparent. When you look at the premium was actually split pretty much 50-50, and this is because a lot of floor traders came in at the end of the day with over 100K in premium. So maybe we'll get a bounce tomorrow. Who knows? I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is that it is looking about 50-50. But bears are definitely shorting this stock more. When it comes to call options, we're now targeting that 1/21/2022 expiration date, which would make sense. That comes after the 12/27 or December 27th dividend date for the Tide spinoff. We can also go down and see the $6 strike price is being targeted the most as well. And that makes me more proud of BBIG shareholders. Put in some time on it. We're looking into the future. And yeah, it's better when we have call options in the future than call options expiring in 2 days. It's just what you see all the time. You'll see tons and tons of open interest in call options that expire in the next week. And it really just upsets me because you need to have a longer time frame. These things don't happen overnight. Anyways, we're into progenity. They have the exact same filters over here, so we're going to get an idea of what the whale sentiment is in progenity, and we can just show the charts right here. You can see that it was mostly calls being traded, about 80% calls being traded. The 11/19/2021 expiration is what's being traded the most. People are predicting a move within the next month, and then the 2.5 strike price is also being traded. Now, the last thing that we're going to go over is this threshold security list from NASDAQ. As you guys can see, BBIG is on this list, as well as progenity, which has just been placed on this list. And if you guys have been following me, I predicted last week that both of these securities would end up on this list. And the problem with the fact that the threshold security list is even a thing is that it's so easy to predict when a stock can go up on this list, okay? So we take a highly shorted stock, any highly shorted stock, and you just have it go up in value. If it goes up 10%, if it goes up 15%, if it goes up 20%, and it's a highly shorted stock, then it's just going to end up on the threshold security list. And what is a threshold security list, you might be asking? It's a list of stocks where short positions have been taken out of. You have to borrow a stock in order to take out a short position. You have to deliver that share to the person who bought that stock from you. Well, this list is a list of securities where that stock was never delivered to the person who bought it. So there's a good chance that if you bought progenity stock or you bought BBIG stock, you don't actually own that stock. There's no stock behind the IOU that you're seeing in your stock brokerage account. It's quite simply an IOU, but it looks like a stock because it was naked shorted to you. So it's just kind of wild how if any of these stocks go up in value, stocks that I like, stocks that you like, stocks that you want to see thrive, people are just naked shorting, doing these legal loopholes in order to naked short, and it's just kind of horrendous, and there needs to be reform. So again, tweet at SEC, tweet at Gary Gensler, tweet at Hootmoney YT. We need reform in the stock market, and it's just crazy. This list is a disgrace. This list shouldn't even be a thing in the first place. There should not be any failure to delivers, considering that the technology is here. There is technology to deliver shares immediately. There should never be a failure to delivers ever. Providing liquidity is not an excuse. There should not be failure to delivers. They need to get rid of T+2 and they need to have instant clearing of stocks. It couldn't be more simple than that, and I could not be more clear with it. Anyways, that's about it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I enjoyed making it as always. I wanted to talk about BBIG. That was my initial thoughts, but then I was like, that might be a little sad just talking about BBIG because it was a bad day. We're in this one together at this point. But I also included progenity because I do see some more upside and there's some good things going for progenity as well. 6 outstanding Ortex signals on progenity, so I had to include progenity as well, and hopefully that lifted some of your spirits. I enjoyed making this video. If you guys did as well, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more. If you're new, hit that bell down below so you never miss a beat here on this channel. And if you guys wanted to check out that charting software that I used throughout this video to do some technical analysis, actually I think I did it mostly at the beginning of the video, but that's besides the point. If you guys wanted to check out that software, it's WeBull desktop. They also have an iOS and Android app, and they're giving away up to $3,200 if you deposit at least $1 on their platform. So you make an account, deposit $1, boom, you're entered in to win up to $3,200 in free stock. Plus you get an amazing trading software, iOS and Android. Download it using the link below in the description or in the pinned comment section. Just go down below, find that link, click it, boom, you're good, you're set. That's all I got. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Gold chain came out, and that's about it. See you guys later. Stay snazzy, stay good. Have a wonderful day. Peace.